Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Friday, April the 27th, 2018. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. Our hypotheses are our trade plans. We have two main hypotheses, Hypo 1 and Hypo 2, or Plan 1 and Plan 2. And basically, we wait for the market to show us who's taking control, and then we execute the plan based on that information as it's given to us. We also create two alternative hypotheses. Those are our trend days and when we switch from Hypo 1 or Hypo 2 into Hypo 3 or Hypo 4, depending on whether or not we're starting to get a trend, very much like we did yesterday is a good example of switching from Hypo 2 to Hypo 3. Anyway, please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website. There's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. Looking at yesterday's how yesterday played out, our main hypothesis was a open auction out of range, a move down into the prior day session, and somewhere between the value area high or over underline, which was 3650 area, down to the 33 area. We're looking for buyers to rotate us back up into that 57 was our main target, the microcomposite VPOC, and then possibly a late day probe, up into the 60 area, but settling somewhere here in the 57. Our Hypo 3 is what actually played out, and that was our Hypo 3 was a gap and go, failure to close the gap. We did not close the gap, and to immediately have buyers take control, which they did, come up into the 57, chop around into the 57, and then push up into the year open and the 3-day microcomposite VPOC between 75 and 73. And basically, that's exactly what we got. We moved up into the 57, chopped around that balance, around the longer time frame microcomposite VPOC, and then got the probe up into 66, accepted value higher, and then finished the day moving up into and closing just below the year open with a high of 75.50 and a close at 75.25. We talked about the fact that this would likely continue up in the Globex during the live trade room, and basically we got a move up. We didn't get that big of a move up, so we're really still fighting this 3-day microcomposite. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. Looking at the earnings today, Friday. Oh, Friday. So Friday, you can see that so far the earnings look to be again better than expected or estimated. So again, the earnings continue to show positive. Looking for aftermarket, there shouldn't be a lot of aftermarket because it's Friday, and it's not giving me any aftermarket. Looking at the economic calendar, we just had core PCE prices came out better than expected. The GDP, again, came out better than expected, 2.3 versus 2.0. PCE prices preliminary came out better than expected. Real consumer spending was a little bit of a miss, but overall, everything's looking really good. 10 o'clock, we've got Michigan consumer sentiments and expectations, current conditions, and then we've got 10:30 ECR weekly annualized and weekly index, Canadian budget balance at 11, and the Baker Hughes oil rig count at 1 o'clock, and that's basically it for today. Remember, it's the second last day of the trading month, so we could get some positioning, shifting of positions coming into the month. Taking a look at the macro to micro, I always like to start my day with a basic routine, and I start with a simple candlestick chart. I use a 9 EMA, 20 SMA. I start on a monthly, and what I'm doing is I'm looking to see where we are within the time frame. Is the strength of the trend good slope and separation? Is price paralleling the 9 nicely, or are we starting to challenge the trend, losing slope and separation, or violating by breaking the 9 and the 20 and possibly getting a trend change? Monthly, same story. 14 months of one time framing up. The one time framing was violated in February, but we closed back above the 9. We challenged the 9 again in March, but they closed above it again in April. But again, we're above it, and coming in with 2 days left in the month, we've got continuation, and the longer time frame remains to the positive side. On the weekly, it was looking like we were starting to get some weakness and a possible trend change, but here we are, back above the 9 and trying to come up and test the 20 above. But again, we've shown this weakness, but every time the dip buyers come in and rotate us back up. On the daily, you can see that we're back above the 9 and the 20. No slope and separation. This is a symmetrical triangle. We're coming into this balance area of the 3 days that we tried to hold balance. I'll show it on the structure when we get into the microcomposite at the 72 area. So really no information there except that we're holding above the 9 and the 20. Going into the 4 hour, you can see that we have taken the downward trend back, and we're starting possibility of a continuation higher on the 4 hour. And then finally going to the 30-minute. You can see that we are again in this consolidation with the possibility of continuation up on the smaller time frame. Going to the structure of the market. Again, just to put things into to context, we had this long trend up, okay, put in a unequalized high, unequalized meaning that the Globex all-time high is 28.83 and a quarter, the RTH all-time high is 28 and a quarter. Then we tried to hold value at the 32, and then we gapped down, and we started this this move down, and I've started my microcomposite from the gap down day through to yesterday, and the value area remains 27.2675 on the high side and 26.0175. Last time we broke out, we failed in the to get back and hold the 2800s, and the last price that they tried to hold, okay, is up here at the 27.56. But once we got inside of the value area, the last price was the 27.18. We broke down and broke below, tested the low side, came back up again, tested the upside, and then we tried to hold value in the 2700s. We're unable. And then we came down, and this is a 3-day microcomposite that I was talking about that we tried to hold value at the 72 area. Tested the lower side of the value, and then we're moving our way back up. All we've been doing is chopping inside of this large range. So there is a lot of coiling. Even though it's a wide value area, we're coiling inside of this and getting ready to make a bigger move once we break out, and that could be to the upside or to the downside. Personally, I think it's going to be one more move to the upside, but I don't know. I'm guessing. The microcomposite VPOC, as noted yesterday, is at 26.57 and a quarter. We're currently above that right now. Remember that our year open is 26.75.75, and our week open is 26.83, and we still have that above us. Key levels to pay attention to today, obviously, is going to be the 75.75. Not only is that our year open, but on the smaller time frame from this breakdown day here, it is our value area high. So our value area high running from the 22nd of March is showing right at basically the year open. And the year open again is 26.75.75 unadjusted, and the Globex, the full session. I want to bring this day in. You can see we're getting a tremendous amount of price acceptance at the 57. So if we can't get above the 75, I'd be looking for them to move back down into the 68.50 and into that 57 again to see if we can pick up some late buyers and move up. If they can stay above this 3-day microcomposite at the 71.50, 72 area, then we're accepting value where we held it the last time, and then I'd be looking for a move up to test the week open at 26.83 and the CLVN at 84 and a quarter. Anything above that, I'm looking for a push into the 90s with the main target above at 91.75. If we come down and we don't hold the 57, then look for them to go down and test the prior day range and the low from yesterday down here in the 45s area. So taking a look at the overnight inventory, very decent Gaussian distribution. We came back inside and we came right back down to the microcomposite VPOC from yesterday at 66, and basically chopped in the upper distribution from yesterday, creating a very good Gaussian distribution with the VPOC at 69 and a quarter. The VPOC shifted up. That is good news. It means that they're accepting that price lower, and we're moving higher back towards the range high in the year open at 75.50. So moving our numbers over to set up our hypotheses, our overnight high, 77.50. Our overnight low, 65 and a quarter. Our VPOC is not likely going to shift now. It's 69 and a quarter. And that's about all the information that we're going to get. The inventory from overnight is basically, net short, and we've come down and balanced out, and we're likely to get the continuation up. So, a couple levels to pay attention to, just to put us into context. Our daily ATR is running at 46.46. That's the daily full session average true range, 46.46 points. So we're based on the overnight high Our daily downside ATR target is all the way down here at 26.36.25. And based on the overnight low, our daily upside ATR target is all the way up here at the 27.11.75. Why is that important? It's important to understand that we have range capabilities without going into expansion to get down into the lower 2600s, 2630s, or up into the test of the 27.11.75. Now we've got 2 days left in the month, and we've got 1 day left in the week, so we have some critical masses to look at, and they're pretty big. Our weekly critical mass is all the way up here at 27.36.50. What does that mean? It means that the week open being 26.35 with one session left, gives us a weekly upside ATR. I'm sorry, a weekly critical mass of 26.36.50. That's got to be wrong. Hold on a second. Yeah, no, because the week open was 26.83. So that's not likely going to come into play. The monthly critical mass up, off of the month open is 26.35 plus 2 sessions daily ATR, and that brings our monthly critical mass up here. So I don't think critical mass is going to come into play unless we get a really strong move, to the upside today. Our daily upside ATR target is 27.11. So going into our hypotheses, let me just set this up. I'm going to draw these out. So let me get a drawing tool. I don't usually draw them. So we're currently going to be opening right inside of range, or just outside of range. We could be opening outside of range. And because of the fact that we do have, another 30 minutes to go, 25 minutes to go. But Hypo 1, I'm looking for an open auction. I'm looking for testing above, taking out the overnight high, moving down into the overnight low and the naked VPOC from yesterday, chopping in here, creating a base, coming up, testing the open, and then pushing up into the week open, and then a late day probe into that 91, and then coming down and closing somewhere around this this area right here. That is my Hypo 1. Just going to move this over here for a second. Give this more room. Oh, I gotta bring this down. Our Hypo 2 is going to be a open auction just in range or just out of range, a push up into the 83 area, fail to break the open of the week, push down, get an impulse wave down into the overnight VPOC, chop here, and then push through down to that 57, maybe a late day probe down into the 45, but basically coming up and going sideways and closing somewhere around that microcomposite VPOC of 26.57. And then our Hypo 3 is going to be the same as yesterday, as a gap and go day and continuation up. Hold on a second. I'm going to bring some of this in here so we can see that. Sorry, I don't like using these drawing tools, but people have been asking me to use them. On Hypo 3, I'm looking at a gap and go, failure to come down and get back in to the value area, basically chopping on the open, getting a push up into the 83, chopping here, and then pushing up to the 91 and starting to trend up and coming up into testing the 2700s and coming up here and then failing and coming and closing somewhere in here in the lower 90s. So that is Hypo 3. Hypo 4 is a breakdown day. Yeah, I don't like using these drawing tools because I gotta keep switching back and forth with my pointer. And my Hypo 4 is a breakdown day, open auction, failure to get above the week open, sellers step in, push us down into this 57, okay, and then we fail, push through, test the lower, and then push right back down and come down here and close on the low down near the weekly and the daily ATR down and near the month open at 26.35. So those are my 4 main hypotheses. I don't like this format at all. Just taking a quick look at gold. Gold again has been testing this 19 area, but it keeps failing to hold below the 19. If we can hold the 19, looking for a move up into the 25 to the 29 area, back into this distribution, more chop. If we come down again, it'll be a third time below the 19. I'm expecting them to push lower into this 1306 and then possibly break down towards this 1290.80. Still a major magnet. But it's Friday. I'm expecting chop. So I'm expecting them basically to hold this 19 level, come up and chop in this 22 to 29 area. That's what I'm looking at gold. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.